Hey Miss Girl, it's your girl Jam and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will be getting into my very much something soft glam makeup routine. I will be going over all my products, detailed step-by-steps on how I achieve this look. So if you're interested, make sure you stay tuned and let's get into the video. So first I'm going to go ahead and use the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm in the color Berry. I'm going to go ahead and just put this on my lips. The girls are a little dry, honey, and I don't play them lip games. Y'all know me. I don't play that chap lip game, okay? Now, first thing I do is I will put my primer. I use the Milk Hydro Primer. This is how it looks. And y'all, I absolutely love this stuff. Right now, I'm just gonna like put 2 pumps and basically like just put it on my fingertips. And my face is freshly washed, and I did go ahead and moisturize with some Neutrogena combination skin moisturizer, and also I use a little bit of Tatcha on my cheeks because I do have combination skin. And so basically I'm just adding the primer all over my face, and then I'm gonna let that dry. And while I let that dry, y'all, I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Clear Brow and Lash Mascara. This is how this looks. And I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure I shape my brows. I'm just gonna coat my brows with this. And then I'm gonna go in upward motions, and then I'm gonna drag it diagonally on the side. And this is just to shape my brows. I do my brows last because, girl, when I used to do my brows first, they used to be covered with foundation, and that just defeated the purpose, Miss Girl. So now I just do this first, and I let this dry so they are in place, and then I just, you know, I'm gonna go in and do my brows later. I kind of just basically use this just to make sure it's flat. And once I achieve the look I want, I go ahead and, you know, just let that dry. And I feel like you want the primer to be like a little sticky. And if I keep looking down, y'all, it's because my mirror right here. This is my Total Face Sponge by e.l.f. Y'all, it's so soft. I love this. This is how the packaging look. My other two were really dirty, so I was like, girl, let me go get a new one, girl. For the girls try to talk about me. But y'all, it's so soft, and you want to go in with the damp beauty blender or sponge, whatever you call it. And the e.l.f., this is like $6. It's very affordable. It also has this flat side here. But yeah, I'm gonna go in with my NARS foundation. This is the Natural Radiant Longwear foundation in the color Macao. As you can see, I've been using it up. But even though NARS, you know, it's like a little expensive, girl, it is so good, okay? This stuff is heaven, okay? I'm not running out, but this gonna get me through. But yeah, I put a little here like on my sponge, and then I like to just tap like over my face, like just to spread it in different areas before I get to blending. And once I get that like patched in different places, I go ahead and start blending my foundation in, and I do not bring it under the eye right here because you don't want it to like clash with your concealer. So try your best to just basically blend everywhere else. And y'all, this is full coverage. Like, once you find your color with this NARS stuff, girl, I don't know, honey. I don't know how the girls be leaving NARS. I heard people like that Mario, you know. But hey, what works for me, like I said, I ain't no pro. So what works for me, I'm gonna keep using it. And I like to just drag it all the way down, y'all, like, you know. And I like to make sure I don't get it on my lips. I hate that. So I make sure I close my mouth and then I blend around my mouth area. And you want to make sure you get in the corner of your nose, because if you don't, Miss Girl, you're gonna be looking crazy, because that spot will be left high and dry. And I do my best to make sure I'm not covering up my eyebrows. I'm just gonna add some more foundation to my beauty blender. The girls was running out and I was just in Ulta. And then once I achieved the look on how much foundation I have on my face, and I'm satisfied, then I will stop adding. But I kind of like to build. I don't like to, like, you know, just put so much at once. And I know some people like, you know, light coverage, but I want full coverage for a reason. It does go with covering blemishes and dark spots. So yeah, NARS is that girl. And you just want to make sure you blend, like blend, blend, blend. And I'm not into the brushes yet, but I feel like I'm getting better to where I eventually want to, you know, start using brushes to apply. But y'all, this beauty blender is so good. I love it. Now look at that. Now I feel like it's coverage that I like. You know, it's not too much. It's covering up my dark spots to a certain extent. And it's just giving me match, okay? It's definitely matching my skin tone. And I love this. And you know, when you start to bring everything else together, and even though maybe it look a little orange or it might come off a little darker, once you start highlighting and, you know, putting your powders and just brightening up the skin and warming up the skin, everything will start looking so, so good. But look how, like, flawless this is. Like, I love it. I try to cover up my scars on my forehead too. But yeah, for the most part, this gets the job done. So now that we're done with foundation, I'm now gonna go in with my concealer. I use the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the color Butterscotch. I don't know if this is focusing, y'all, but this is how it looks. And you don't want to worry about it. Like, you don't want to bring it too high, but it looks as if I went a little high. But you really don't want to worry about that it's not matching right here all the way, because we're going to go ahead and make sure that's contoured. So I'm just going to go in under my eye with the Born This Way concealer in Butterscotch. And you want to let that dry. Like, you want to... And whatever is left over, I like to put that on my chin, forehead, and nose. And you want to let that sit. And especially with the nose, you want to make sure those lines, honey, you want to make sure those lines are perfect. Because, girl, that nose will get to looking crooked and nose job going wrong, Miss Girl. But yeah, I'm going to let that dry a little, but you definitely want it to dry. So once you start blending, it kind of stays in place. You don't want it to spread and move out of place so much. You basically just want to blend to where you had it, and definitely want to bring it up. But I don't draw it up and bring it out. I do that once I'm blending. I use the same beauty blender that I use to apply my foundation. I use that to blend my concealer as well. But you want to just take your time when you blending your concealer, because like I said, you want to bring it up to give yourself that cat eye, but you also want to make sure that your concealer stays in place. Even though I don't put concealer under my nose, I like to bring my concealer down and around as well. And I feel like it gives me like light coverage there, because I may apply too much here. So this gives me very light coverage by dragging it down and bringing it around. I'm the type of person that really loves bright under eye. Like, if I knew how, I would put some type of like white translucent powder under my eyes, but girl, that's doing too much. I don't know how to do that just yet. Okay, not just yet, Miss Girl. And so once I feel like I achieved like the blend that I want there, I like to blend on my chin, and then I go up the nose with the point. So I like to, and then you go real soft with it with the point, because you don't want it to spread out too much. You want it to stay, you know, really, really sharp. And so I just drag that up. Okay, now that I got that blended, I am now going to go in with my setting powder. So what I do is I set my under eyes first, but I'm also gonna go in with my beauty blender right before setting my under eye, just so like if it has like any creasing when I was adding that, and you just want to make sure you get the corner of your nose. If you don't learn anything from this video, know to get the corner of that nose, because that's key. Okay, you'll be out here looking crazy. Now I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. This is in medium 30, medium deep 30. Okay, and I really, really like this. It's very affordable. You know, you could buy this at the drugstore. I actually think I got this from Ulta, but it's at Walmart too. Or did I get this from Walmart? I probably got this from Walmart. So you could get this like at a drugstore, y'all, and it's so good. I'm gonna go in with my powder puff, but like I said, first before I go in with my powder puff, I'm gonna blend one more time to make sure there's no creases. And I just quickly do that under the eye. I put some powder on my powder puff, and then I just tap it on my hand because I'm only going in lightly. And exactly how I did the concealer, I'm doing it the same way with the powder puff. I'm just gonna set, and then I'm gonna drag it down and around. And then I just keep using like the residue. But y'all, my eyes, this under eye is like so much more wrinkled than this one, and I hate it. Like, I wish I would have took care of my eyes more. Like, you know, you wish you knew better, but you didn't. And I'm just gonna go ahead and lightly set everywhere where I put the concealer. And I like to go really close to my eyebrow, because for some reason I get real oily right there, and it just be like really, really shiny. Do not like that. Now with the point of the powder puff, I go in and basically like just dab it like this and try to go in a straight line to set my concealer on my nose. Okay, and as you can see, the nose is making some progress. Everything's really like setting. Now that that's done and I lightly dusted everything else, I'm gonna go crazy with the powder now. So now I'm gonna go back in and bake. So now I'm not gonna tap it onto my skin. Basically this is how it looks. I don't use much of it on my skin, and I'm just gonna go back in and bake. Okay, because like I told y'all before, I like a real light under eye. And so you want to drag it up the nose as well, so you can get that contoured look. And so you see that I got a lot of powder, you know, baking at this time, honey. You know I got some stuff on my lip. Hated it. So now that I'm done with powder, and I like a lot of powder. I like a matte finish. I like my face to sit all day and night. And honey, you just like over time, like I have like a oily T-zone. This helps. This helps a lot with my oily T-zone. Now, like I said, my cheeks be dry, but my T-zone, I like to make sure everything is really, really set, just so I'm not coming off oily, or my makeup isn't sliding or gliding off as I go through the day or night. Now, what I do next while baking, I do not contour. I think I want to try the Fenty contour, but I never came across nothing I like. I go in with the e.l.f. Angle Blush Brush to add some bronzer. I go in with the Morphe Glamabronze Face and Body Bronzer in Trailblazer. Now, I think this has been discontinued, but I still have like a lot. It hasn't panned yet. And I go in with like a lot on my angle brush, and I kind of like just dust it off. And I do that like kissy face look like this. Not really on top, but kind of like under, because once you go under, it's still gonna like, you know, separate it right here. So you definitely want that. And this is what helps me versus just guessing. I see the line like that. Basically kind of getting it on my cheekbone and just warming up the face, okay? And then I don't know why I like to not say add a lot, but I be giving the girls what they need to give, honey. And then sometimes I'm just like blending like, girl, you put too much. And then I like to go underneath my chin with it as well. Because, you know, if that neck match, who gonna say something? I just like to use my angle brush and like bring it out. And remember I told y'all about don't worry about this not matching? I also, oh goodness, I also use that to, you know, blend this area as well and bring it down. Basically warming up the face. And like I said, I just go around and come under the chin. And now with the same bronzer, I'm gonna use like this little bitty brush. This is not any specific brand. And I go in with the bronzer. I try to make sure that I stay really, really close on that line that was made by the concealer and the setting powder. And I also go really deep under my brow, and like I want to like form that line and make it really dark right here to where that helps with my contour. Don't worry about how harsh it is, because I feel as if, you know, I go back and we're gonna blend everything, but you get the picture, okay? And if you need to go back in and put some more powder, go ahead. Or you need to go back up and shape it to where you get in those perfect lines, definitely go ahead and do that. But you definitely, like I said, want to make sure that you contouring right here, right under the brow, and in this corner right here. Then I go in with some more powder, and I just kind of go over my eyelid, you know, with it. And because I feel like my eyelid be kind of oily once I'm done with everything, and I feel like just using that bronzer, because I don't know how to apply eyeshadow, using that bronzer give me that natural soft glam warm look that I need. Girl, you don't gotta do too much. You don't have to do too much, girl. Don't let the girls lie to you. All right, and so now that I'm completely done using that bronzer and basically using the bronzer to contour, I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. powder brush, and I'm just basically gonna blend like all the harsh lines, because I feel like I come off real harsh. So I try to make sure that I blend that in right there. Just anything that I feel like is super harsh, I go in with my e.l.f. Powder brush, and I just make sure I blend, blend everything and knock off some of the powder here. And then for sure, I go up and down on my nose, because I feel like my contour and my highlight be super harsh. I still haven't got that down pat yet. Kind of brush over some of the powder off, and I feel like that blends. Like, maybe one day I'm gonna get better at it. See, when you do that, it kind of like makes everything like blend together. And then what I do is, I would usually, if they have like excess on here, I would just go in afterwards and put the rest of the powder right here. Okay, and so now I feel like it's light and it blends. So, and if I don't, I just hate when it's like super light. You see the line, so I try to go in with just, I don't even add no more powder. I just go in like this. Now, once that's done, I'm starting to feel like, oh, my whole look is starting to come together. And now it's time to go crazy with the blush. As you can see, I don't use much creams and liquids. I use a lot of powders. And I feel as if that's what makes my face sit and my makeup last long, because even though I have like a lot of powders and I have that matte look, but once I spray my finishing spray, I give that beautiful finish. Now that everything is blended, I'm going to go in with my ColourPop brow pencil in the color Soft Black. And this is how the ColourPop pencil looks. And so basically, to do my brows is very, very easy. For me, brows used to be like so hard. But you basically want to just use your pencil to help guide and lead you. Okay, so I'm going to start in at the inner corner of my brow, and I'm going to drag it out a little further, because I'm going to use my pencil, and basically based off my pencil, I should bring it out a little more than what's natural. So I bring that out there, and I kind of just use it again to measure it. And then I drag the pencil all the way through the bottom of my brow, and I kind of extend it, and I use my pencil again at the tip of my nose and like the corner of my eye to see, okay, yeah, I dragged it further enough. And then now that that's done, I'm going to use my pencil like towards the middle of my eye and kind of, start at the top and bring it through while still following like my brow line. And so you don't want it to be harsh here. So that's why I didn't start there. You want to start in the middle and kind of shape it. Once that's done, you want to do light upward strokes all the way through, basically filling in the gaps, but really light strokes. And then you want to go ahead and use the brush side and start at the bottom and brush that harsh line in, basically, just blending it in. And then you get that natural fluffy look. And I like to, after this, I like to go back in, and if I still see like some spots that's sparse, I go back in and fill it in. But you definitely don't want to do too much, because you don't want your brows like super dark. So it's always good to go back in and, brush that out. And then now that that's done, I go in and do the other side, same exact thing. Once I'm I'm done with my brows, I like to go back in with my powder puff and just go back and touch it up if I have like any, like the lines from the brush messing with the powder. So I like to go back and just use that, being that I'm not gonna conceal my brows, so everything is just basically as natural as possible. Once that's done, girl, I'm gonna go crazy with the blush. I do blush last. I feel like blush moves and kind of fade away. I do go in with the powder blush. This is the NYX powder blush in the color Spice, and this is not a specific brush either, and I just put like a lot on my thing, and I try to smile and I drag it all the way up, like where we used to put highlighter, and I just try to go in like circular motions on my cheeks and just pull it all the way up. And I try to use a lot and blend. Like, blush is my thing. And it's like, I want my face pink. I don't know, some people like orange and or red. I want my face super pink. And then I like to put a little bit in, blend again on my nose and right here. And like I said, I go in a little circular motion here, and then I just drag it all the way. Then if everything looks good, I don't have to blend, I don't have to add anything, I feel like I'm glamming, girl. So I'm gonna go in with my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and I'm just gonna shake it up real good and make sure I just kind of try to get every area of my face. And I love this stuff. I just feel like it puts the cherry on top of my look, and after it sits, honey. Now you want that to be damped, and now we're just gonna let that air dry and see the final look. And now as for my lips, you want to make sure that it's like really no makeup on your lips. And I don't go in with a pencil, I just like to make sure my lips are like real clean. And I'm gonna go in with the NYX Butter Gloss in the color Creme Brulee. And we just gonna let that dry, because the first layer is not the full color. It's just basically like my base, like, because once I go in again with it, girl, I can't stand no lip liner, y'all. Like, for certain things like lipsticks and stuff, maybe, but it's just that I don't know, that's not my thing. And as you can see, the second layer, it is popping through more, and I just love it. I love that it goes with my soft glam look. I love that, you know, it's still giving natural, it's still giving gloss, and it's giving real pretty. Okay, makeup is starting to sit, as you can see, or I can even feel it, like the Morphe Setting Mist is starting to dry. And girl, honey, like the face is just sitting. Well, this concludes my detailed soft glam makeup routine. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned some tips and tricks. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you again soon for another video. Bye.